Welcome to KO, a series of videos where I look at a subject, be it comparing cartoons, movies, songs, or something else, and see how well they stand up against each other.
There are a lot of cliches in cartoons that I am tired of. The mind switch between two characters is one of them because the voice switches along with the mind.
This isn't happening! This isn't happening! This isn't happening!
Why is it that an unofficial British series is one that uses the trope the best?
Gohan, of course it's your dad! Goku, what's your favorite food?
Waldorf salad.
See, double baconator, oh shit!
But my least favorite is the older character becomes young in looks and mind, and the main character has to deal with them. What, the mind reverts too? Because that makes sense? But today on KO, we're going to look at two different series and compare them on the Fountain of Youth syndrome. We are looking at Elena of Avalors, Island of Youth, and The Little Mermaids Red. This is KO. The situation. In Red, Triton goes to a party hosted by Ariel and dances with his one and only daughter. Seriously, what happened to the others in this series? As he is dancing, Triton pulls something in his back. He gets into a slump and Ariel wants to help him. Enter today's villain, Glowfish. It's because he's a fish and he glows. I want to talk about how lazy the writing is, but wait till we talk about Elena. Apparently Glowfish works for an unguarded undersea cave woman with magical items. We don't even get a name with this one. Glowfish gets a youth stone and a magic flute. The reason why Glowfish does this is because he wants the royal treasure, and nothing else. The stone and the flute turns Triton's body into a little boy's, as well as turns his mind into one. Turns out, Triton was a little snot as a kid.
Can't catch me!
In the Island of Youth episode, the stupidity starts early since Estefan doesn't even recognize that Elena's hiding the fact that she's throwing a surprise party for him on his birthday. How hard is it to put two and two together? He's not blind, he's just really, really dumb. Estefan is moody because he thinks everyone forgot his birthday, never minding that his family was trapped in a painting and an amulet for the past 40 years, so they might need a reminder. And then Estefan laments about his youth. Elena tells Estefan that they're going sailing on his birthday. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You are not this dumb. No one in animation is this dumb to miss these kinds of clues. Turns out that the nautical map they are using is a magical one, and it shows the hidden island of Santalos, which holds the Fountain of Youth. And here I thought it was in Florida. This, of course, gets Estefan excited, and now he's gung-ho for sailing to the island. Yay! They land on the island, which happens to be the most boring island on the planet, and Estefan quickly finds the fountain and starts drinking from it. The more he drinks, the younger he gets. And of course, Estefan's mind starts to revert too. Because, why not? Turns out, he's the same in his youth as he is in his adulthood. A jerk! This is the point where both episodes are really the same. It's your standard role reversal with Ariel and Elena, now the responsible adults, and Triton and Estefan, the mischievous kids. Here's the problem. It was never established in these episodes that Ariel and Elena were mischievous teenagers. Oh, sure they were in other episodes, but not in this one. So there's not really any lesson learning here. There's no conflict like, maybe I shouldn't be as rambunctious? But no, we don't have any of that. Now we have to look at the reasons why Triton and Estefan grew younger. Triton was complaining and Ariel wanted to help her father, and was tricked into giving him the youth stone. Estefan seeked out the fountain on his own, for his own personal reasons. If I have to decide with Ariel doing a good deed and Estefan doing his own thing, I have to say Estefan is the winner, because he personally seeked it out.
When I drink from the fountain of youth, I will be young and strong again. I'll finally start living the life I always dreamt about. Prepare to cast off, everyone!
Point, Elena of Avalor. The Kid. Both Estefan and Triton, or Red, he's called Red now because of his red hair, are really full of themselves in this episode. Red knew he was the king, therefore he was not going to give up his all-powerful trident. He tangled with a shark, showed off, and got caught by humans because of his bullheadedness. And then there was the confrontation with the sorceress. That is seriously her name. But what else would I expect from a show with fantastic villain names like Lobster Mobster or the Evil Manta? At least Tim Curry made the Evil Manta cool.
Thank you. You're very kind.
Until the third season. Red just stood there doing nothing as Ariel figured out the spell was going to wear off. It does, and the sorceress does a little sucking the water into the cave thing where she gets the trident. Then Santa Claus of the Sea calls the Sword of Omens back to him, teases the cave lady, and leaves. As far as Estefan goes, he climbs trees, he swings from vines, he throws temper tantrums, he chases seagulls, and gets stuck in quicksap. Quicksap? Yep, it's the one interesting thing he does as a kid. Estefan plays keep away because, as we stated at the beginning of this episode, he's an idiot. He turns into a baby and then they do this.
I am not changing any diapers.
People, he said he isn't going to change any diapers. Oh, give him a pity laugh for crying out loud. If I have to compare the two, I like Red better. He likes to have fun, but he isn't selfish like Estefan. And he's not an ass like Estefan. He tried to do his kingly duty by saving a fish, while Estefan ran around in old man pajamas saying, I can do it! Point, The Little Mermaids. The song. Yeah, both series have a bad habit of trying to have a song in most episodes, no matter how bad the song is. And in both these episodes, the song is pointless. This Is the Life has no real purpose other than just being a song for Ariel's party. While the song is going, a popular girl shows up, says the music isn't loud enough. Ariel wants to show up. Flounder says, your dad said. Ariel raises the music volume up anyway. Triton comes with a mighty war. No, wait. All he did was give a disapproving look to Ariel and turn down the music. I'm not even sure if this was what drew Triton to the party in the first place. I think when the series was made, they made so many songs that they had to find a way to put them in an episode, even if there was no real reason for it. The Island of Youth has two songs. The Birthday Song and Elena's Lullaby. The Birthday Song is the B-plot and the more interesting storyline in the episode. The Lullaby came out of nowhere. The Lullaby is cute, but it has no reason for being, except it helps baby Estefan to calm down. That's it! I'd rather talk about the Birthday Song. I actually enjoy it. It's a battle between the old ways and the new ways. We see Elena's most interesting character in the entire series, Sister Isabel, and her grandfather trying to determine who has the more enjoyable song to play at Estefan's birthday. It's old versus new, with the new beating the old. However, grandfather has hurt feelings and Isabel feels bad. But since both songs don't have any real point to the story, other than the Birthday Song being the plot device for the B part of Elena of Avalor, I'm going to have to go with my old KO rules that I use for Sophia's first song. Is the songs enjoyable to watch? For This Is the Life? Yes. You have mermaids and sea creatures dancing, so pretty much every Little Mermaid song ever written. It's a fun little party. As for the Birthday Song, it's really just a performance. And unfortunately, this is where the computer animation really hurts the series the most. It doesn't really convey the party atmosphere that This Is the Life has. A lot of times it's like watching background characters in a video game. Is the audio enjoyable to listen to without watching? For This Is the Life, it's tolerable. This is the problem with the Little Mermaid series. The songs range from average to meh to cringeworthy. Yeah, one or two standout hits, but nothing really that great. This Is the Life is just forgettable. But the same could be said for the Birthday Song as well. It's short, it's sweet, it's a birthday song. But I do enjoy it a little bit more than This Is the Life. Can you follow along with the storytelling without watching what is on the screen? For both songs, that's a big no. Well, I guess the Birthday Song is an indication that it's Estefan's birthday. Do I like listening to the song over and over again? Well, again, I like the Birthday Song, especially the Isabel, the only character that has potential in this series' only version. And again, I tolerate This Is the Life.
You're 1 more year older, and so we all say we love you, Esteban, on your special day. Level up on your special day.
Point Elena of Avalor. The threat. Well, you know the Mermaids' threat with the poorly named villain, so I won't spend that much time with them. But we do have Elena's threat, which is if they don't get off the island by sunset, they will disappear along with the island. You can also add into account that Estefan keeps getting younger, to a point where he might become an egg in a sperm cell, which would be an improvement. But in the end, you knew what was going to happen. Elena would escape the island with a fully grown Estefan. By the way, I learned how to spell the word Estefan because of this episode. Pronouncing it is another story. And celebrate his birthday. It's predictable. The Little Mermaid? Not so much. Yeah, we knew Triton was going to go back to normal, but we didn't know if the sorceress was going to escape or not. A plot like that makes the episode a little more interesting and unpredictable.
One more thing.
Point The Little Mermaid. Overall, I hate to start out with this, but outside of what was mentioned before with the song and the conflict, this is a one-sided contest. Let's go through this one W and H at a time. Where? Location, location, location. Okay, it's not fair to compare Elena with the Little Mermaid when it comes to the location, because with Little Mermaid, you're under the sea. But in Elena, you went to a mythical island. When I hear mythical island, I was expecting more than jungle, gap, magic pool, magic tree, and single monkey. It's uninteresting and bland. We've already talked about the why with Estefan's and Ariel's ambitions. We've talked about the what with the Fountain of Youth and the Youth Stone. Now we have to talk about the who. And unfortunately, most Disney princesses are not the most interesting when it comes to their character. And with Elena and Ariel, it's kind of hard to tell them apart. No, I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about personality. They are both hyperactive teens who are stubborn and also kind of not at all interesting, unlike some of the other Disney princesses. Jasmine, Tiana, Sophia, they all have personalities that set them apart. Elena and Ariel? Nope. That is why you have interesting characters around them. With Mermaid, you have Sebastian, Glowfish, and Red. With Elena, you have an uninteresting teen wizard and Estefan. Estefan is probably the most interesting character in Elena of Avalor, but not in this episode. To be honest, it isn't fair trying to compare Elena of Avalor to the Little Mermaid. Elena is developed for a younger age group, but Little Mermaid has been on Disney Junior and Playhouse Disney before. But being on Disney Junior is not an excuse for poor character development in Elena of Avalor. Disney Junior has interesting characters, from shows that are geared towards preschoolers to grade schoolers, to shows that appeal to older people. But what happened to Elena of Avalor? I mean, look at the main characters in the series. Not interesting, meh interesting, wish the series was developed around her. Interesting, but really doesn't do anything. Not interesting, not interesting. Needs an oil can to grease up those joints because you ain't interesting. Haven't been in enough episodes to judge. Have not been in enough episodes to judge. Oh, by the way, what is the idea of spoiling the entire special movie pilot episode that hasn't been out yet in the very first episode afterwards? No, we don't have to see that special, do we? Seriously, this show. Plus, this episode was based on a recycled concept that has been done better. This is the weakest episode of Elena of Avalor by far. But still, in other episodes, the characters are not interesting and still use recycled concepts. Some have been seen in recent episodes of other series. I'm going to be brutally honest, and people are going to hate me for it. Elena of Avalor is an interesting concept that relies too much on the fact that Elena is a Latina princess, and Disney hopes that it will draw people to the series instead of quality writing and character development. The writing is lazy, most characters are bland and uninteresting, and Elena can be compared to Princess Anna, TV series Ariel, Princess Kala, and others, as far as character and personality are concerned. The stories are rehashed plots from old Disney cartoons, proving that there is no effort in the writing. The creator was more concerned with making sure the culture and atmosphere were spot on, ignoring what makes a series good. There's so many red flags in Elena of Avalor that makes me think that the only reason why the show even exists is to cover up the outrage when people, including the marketer of Sophia the First, thought that Princess Sophia was going to be a Latina princess, and turns out she wasn't. The whole series feels like Disney was forced to make it instead of wanting to make it, just to get people to shut up. And that's the most disappointing thing of all. I had high hopes for the series, and it's still pretty new, so hopefully Disney will prove me wrong. But as it is right now, Elena of Avalor is heading towards Mediocreville. And that's really a shame. Winner by knockout, The Little Mermaid. I now have a Patreon account. This is where you can show your support and help me to improve my content by becoming a Patreon. You can get rewards by supporting me, such as seeing content before it's released, exclusive artwork, make requests for reviews, and you can even take part in a review. A link to this and all of my social media accounts are in the description. Thanks for watching. I'm Toonamp. It's time for me to tune out.